Welcome back to Inside the Swing. I'm your host, Jeremy Lee, and we are so excited because today, drivers. We are going to go through setup. We're going to see, look at some numbers, kind of what we're looking for from a TrackMan perspective, but also just kind of help you understand where to be in the swing. So many of us get so far ahead with the driver. Remember, the driver is a lot longer, so we have to give that head a little bit more time to get into that slot position. We think that we can just really get up in front, but that really creates a lot of problems. That's where the pushes, that's where the flips come from. So we're going to get into proper setup and all these fun things. So today, let's talk about setup. So because the driver is longer, we need to set up slightly different than we would with an iron. So if we had an iron, we would be center, hands would be forward. That's where we want to get set up for an iron. Now, for a driver, it's definitely different. So we want the ball just inside left heel. And what we're wanting to do is that driver would be there. So you're already behind the ball. So center point is behind the ball. And then from here, I want you to just tilt. Okay? So what that does is it gets you coming plane, and then you're automatically coming up on the ball. Hitting up on the ball, there's a big difference between swinging up on the ball and hitting up on the ball. If you're already in proper position, proper setup, as you're coming into impact, the low point of the swing is about 2 inches behind this ball. And then as you continue to swing, straighten out that left leg, the club naturally rises. You don't need to help it. So many of us try to help the ball up in the air. Here, low point, 2 inches behind the ball, starts to rise, coming into our straight line position at 8, and then we're going to get into that 9 position. As we're coming into the ball, though, we have got to make sure on drivers to stay behind. It's a lot easier to see it face on. As I'm coming into impact, so here's 4, 5, so we talked about our knee coming out. We need to stay here. We don't need to be here, because you need to give that driver enough time. You're turning here. If you look at Justin Thomas, I encourage you to go look at a slow-mo of Justin Thomas. When he is at impact, that is almost a straight line. It's this straight line right here. So he's here, and then his momentum, as he releases, it's pulling him into his finish, which is just amazing to see. Now, he's a little bit different because he gets this foot way up in the air. So he is he's doing that move, right? On his driver. He's clearing those hips. He's getting that knee down and just releasing those hips. It's a little bit different for different people. I prefer to try to keep that heel on the ground just a little bit longer because it allows me to get that club around and going into impact. So again, with driver, setup is just inside that left heel. Hands, with irons, we're going to be straight down. With driver, I prefer it just a touch outside. As we're coming up, you see DeChambeau do this a lot. He talks about bringing it. Sergio Garcia the same way, bringing it to your pocket. Because what's happening is if we get way out here, we can't control it. But if we're here, then we're turning. Now we're in a really good position. Because really at the end of the day, our arms don't do this, right? Our arms do this. That's all they're doing. See? They're staying in front of my body the entire time. We're never doing this with our elbows. And the longer you get with the clubs, the harder it is, because you're going to start flipping. So if I just took this, set it up, and I started to do this, see, that's hard to hit. That's hard to do. That's craziness, right? We don't want to do that. That is no fun. That makes for long days on the golf course. What we want to do, nice, wide, stable stance, 60% of your weight on the right. And then we're going to tilt. We're going to come in, 5, 6, and then 7, snapping that knee back. And that's what's going to turn us, okay? Let's see, the first swing of the day, so don't judge me too bad. Takeaway, really, really important. I have a terrible habit of doing this. It drives me crazy. I can't. You got to feel like you stay on the ball line for as long as possible. Okay? So we're coming back, then we're just coming straight up. Okay? So that should put us right in our shoulder line. Knee comes out, and then we're coming into impact from there. So let's see if we can do it. Okay, so that wasn't bad. I put in the face, because this is what I work on so much, is I try to get to that center of the face. And that's going to be a huge determining factor on how far you hit the ball. That is where smash factor comes in. If you're hitting dead center of that face, your smash factor should be 150, 150, 150, somewhere in that range. But look where I'm at. I'm at 143 on that first swing. So I hit that low and to the right, low and out towards the toe. So I hit that one about right here. So you can have a great swing. So let's look at my numbers. So my path was 2, but my face was wide open, which probably some of that's because I hit it on the toe. So let's see if we can't get it straightened out a little bit. Just inside right heel, big wide stance, tilt. So you're going to tilt straight back. So you're going to feel like your your right shoulder comes closer to your right foot. Stay on the ball line as long as possible, straight up, and then we're just relaxing into the shot. Knee out, snap. Okay? So again, my path is great, but I keep leaving my face open, and I keep putting on the toe side of center. So what I need to work on is I'm doing good to get to here, so my path is great, but I've got to release. I'm just holding it off. So I need to release that, which is causing that big push to the right. Okay? Let's try it one more time. A good buoyancy in your legs, nice and relaxed. Dip, shoulder closer to your foot. We're going to stay on that. Stay on that line as long as possible. Much better. I am just struggling with hitting center face contact. But look how good that is. That tells you how good your driver is. I didn't hit it center face contact, and look at my smash. So that's a good wide face. And that's really important when you're testing out drivers. You know, if you hit it just off of center and you're seeing that 150 smash factor, that's a really good driver. That has a lot of forgiveness to where you don't have to hit it dead center of that club every single time. So we'll hit one last one, but again, at the end of the day, proper setup is huge on driver. Staying behind the ball is huge on driver. And snapping that left leg to get you to come around on that driver is also huge. One last time. Ball just inside left heel. Good buoyancy in your legs. Nice and relaxed. Feel like your butt's against the wall. We're going to get 60% of our weight on the right. We're going to tilt just slightly. Right shoulder closer to right foot. So that is premium setup for the driver. So I think my weight a little bit towards the balls of my feet, but I just barely like to get on the balls of my feet because as I'm coming into my backswing, I'm trying to kind of relax. So many of us are trying to control it with our feet. Just relax those feet. Feel like your feet are really relaxed in your swing. Once you find your center mass, feel like those feet are really relaxed. So from there, nice wide stance, just slightly wider than, basically my feet are just outside of my shoulders is where I like it to be. Nice and buoyancy, got a lot of buoyancy in my legs. My feet are relaxed. And then we're trying to stay on that target line for as long as possible. And again, remember, we're not moving lower legs. Remember we talked about in earlier videos? 1, 1.5, 1, 1.5. I'm not moving anything on my lower leg until we get to 2. Then with 3, 4 at the top. Knee comes out on 5, 6, and then impact, which is where that snap comes from and comes through. Oh, that was so close. So very close. Just my face was a touch open. And I really liked how high I hit that ball. That let me know I was coming up on the ball. So that's what you want to look for. But ultimately, finding the center of the face on the club is by far the key to hitting drivers long. But you have to set up correctly. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I love it when people comment and we can answer questions for you. We want to start doing a lot more of interaction with our viewers. So please shoot us a comment. If you want us to check out your video, you can go to 24.golf, click on lessons, and we can do an online video for you as well. But again, practice with a purpose. That is the most important thing, and you cannot do that better than getting on a simulator, getting on a launch monitor, and really seeing your numbers based on how you're setting up, based on how you're swinging, and get your swing to the optimum position. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. We are growing. Check out our TikTok. We're just about to launch our studio, which we're gonna have great guests here in the Pinehurst area. And we're gonna have an exciting summer in 2025. So as always, thank you for watching. This is Inside the Swing. I'm Jeremy Lee. We'll see you on the tee.